Yo, what's up? This is Tay Motivates coming to you with another video. In this video, I want to talk about personal development. So let's get straight into it. I think a lot of people don't understand the full extent of what personal development can be. I think when you say personal development, a lot of times people are, hearing or thinking about Tony Robbins or different success grifters, different success mentors, which this is a part of personal development. But I feel like that is such a small part, and if people knew what personal development really was, it would be more interesting to a lot of people. And the way that I kind of see personal development is kind of just like, well, it's part of the points that I'm going to list in this video, but it's more towards self-engineering your life, living a creative life, grounding yourself in truth and like really having an open mind, having different thoughts come at you and developing yourself in that type of sense. So I'm going to get more into that in this video. So let's get straight into it. So the first point I want to make about personal development is that it challenges your views, right? It's so easy to get stuck in the same thinking patterns, get stuck in the same thoughts because you're hanging around the same people every single, well, not every single day, but throughout your life. You're kind of stuck in a bubble, whether it's a bubble in your city, whether it's a bubble in your state, whether it's just like, your friend group, whether it's your school, you're stuck in a bubble of thoughts, right? And, if someone doesn't come with like new thoughts, you're going to just be building those thoughts off of the thoughts that you already have. So in a way, I like to describe it as it's very, very similar to traveling. Like when you travel and you go to a whole different country and you see people doing things in a totally different way than you are ever used to. Like for instance, somebody driving a car when we are used to having it on the left side of our car, like the wheel, some countries have it on the right side. And that can just be a complete culture shock, if you've never seen that or is never aware of that. And those type of culture shocks and those type of shocks in the way that you think and keep you open-minded happens when you read different books. Like when you read books on Eastern philosophy, when you read books on creativity, when you even read books about a topic that you believe that you already know. It hits different when you read it from like a great written book from like a PhD giving you his creative thoughts on that too. So that is a big reason that I think personal development is really, really cool and really, really important, man. I love to travel, and to me, it's like traveling, but sitting in your home. It's amazing. I would say living a creative life, right? Because if you compare a normal perspective of somebody who's not really involved in personal development, you know, it could be very mundane in a way. It could just be like their worldview could be very just like what it is. Like it just be like, oh yeah, I wake up every day. Um, I get up, I go to work, I take care of my children. These are very quality things, but compared in the sense of you're living with a purpose, right? Like you have like all these like perspectives, and you get to like, use that as a dictionary on what you agree with and what you kind of don't disagree with. In the sense that every day you wake up, you're waking up with a purpose. You're waking up with a challenge. You have a reason to move in this world, rather is for your family, but even beyond that. Like, say you have a purpose to like change lives, right? Say you feel like you every day you wake up is just God telling you to keep going, keep moving forward because you have a great value to bring to this world and you are very, very important. And then you come across material that tells you like, yo man, like you are a very small speck in this world. And it also, helps you out with that too, because it makes you feel like wow, this world is humongous and it's gonna move on without you. Like I read a personal development book that literally had me like depressed for like the whole time I was reading it and even afterwards. But after that depression it became a great like upside to where like I'm free. Like all these thoughts that I have that I think are so important are not as important as they think, and like you just understand where they came from, and like nobody would ever come to you and tell you this stuff. Like if you don't like dive in personal development, like there's thoughts that you will never come across that you would think are just extraordinary thoughts. You like, how do I live my life without this? But you will never come across it from just somebody telling you this, because this information isn't rare, but it's like it's not, people don't discover it because they're not into discovering new thoughts. They just get fed thoughts and just kind of run with it. And then you're grounded in truth, right? So that leads me to my next point is you are better able to rely on yourself. Because when you read these books, a lot of times, like when you choose the correct books, these books are written by PhDs, you know? Like, you know, these books are written by people that actually teach professionals how to do things. Like, you know, there's a book about creativity to where this guy runs a workshop and he actually worked with like some of the top artists in different fields and help them with their creativity, right? So if you think about it, a course from this guy would probably be pretty expensive, but a book for this guy would probably be pretty like amazing. Like to take it a step farther, man. Like for instance, I read that book and like I started to see visions. Like I started to like I felt like I was like on like some type of like psychedelic, but I was sober. And just from the thoughts of this book, I was able to like live in like a psychedelic realm in like life. It was really, really cool. And like this is what I'm trying to express when I talk about personal development. And to continue on that thought is you'll understand that like a lot of times truth, like there's a lot of information going on in society. And just because there's information out there doesn't mean it's true, right? So what you'll start to understand is that information grounded in truth, studies that are more truth than just like a TikTok video. You know, some random person telling you, you know, trying to tell you what is, whatever. Like your mind can really get weighing different ways. And I like to say, I love to use this example whenever I'm explaining this topic. Is think about culture, right? When we hear cults, like somebody's in a cult, we think about mind control, you know, very close-minded thinking, manipulation. But we all live in a culture. It's kind of natural and necessary for society to run, to be in a culture, right? And, you know, in some type of way, we all are feeding off of each other's thoughts and we all are feeding off of each other's actions. And, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean that our thoughts and actions are grounded in truth. So when you have this confidence to just rely on yourself because you know you are getting the best information out there, man, the sky's the limit for you. This is Tay Motivates. Take on the world. Do great. Live strong. Yes, sir. There's some things that you don't ever gotta see. You can't fit those Louis Trunks up in them thoughts.